Many of you will be familiar with Samaritans' Small Talk Saves Lives campaign, have taken part in the Managing Suicidal Contacts training, and perhaps even made an intervention yourself that has saved a life. While Samaritans are available to listen at any time of the year, the period around Christmas, when many are celebrating with family and friends, can be a particularly dark time for those not in such a fortunate position. It's a time when Samaritans can be called upon to help find a light for many. It's also a time when Samaritans need support to continue its great work, and a lot of that support comes from Samaritans Christmas stars across the industry. To take a look at what it means to be a Samaritans Christmas star and to hear about Samaritans' latest Christmas campaign, I'm joined today by Aimee Magay, Samaritans Regional Development Lead on the Eastern Route for the Network Rail Partnership, and by Bessie Matthews, a trainee shunt driver at Freightliner who's supported the charity for the last 2 years. Welcome to both of you. As first-time visitors to RSSB podcasts, could I ask you to introduce yourselves to our audience? Aimee, please, would you tell us a little bit about your role in the Samaritans Rail team and what you love about your job?
Absolutely. So I'm one of 5 regional development leads in the team, and I cover the Eastern region, which includes the East Coast Main Line, North and East, Anglia and East Midlands routes. I'm based in York, which is pretty much in the middle of my patch. There's such diversity in my role in the region I cover. Alongside the other regional development leads, I've built strong links with stakeholders across the region, and I provide support and expertise to the rail industry. This ranges from promoting Samaritan suicide prevention and trauma support training courses, arranging post-incident support, and promoting campaign materials across the rail industry, including this Christmas campaign that I've been working on. What I love about my job is definitely the people in the rail industry who I work with every day. There are so many people who are passionate and dedicated to working to prevent suicide, and there's a real commitment across the whole of the industry.
Thank you, Aimee. I mentioned the Be a Samaritan's Christmas Star campaign in my introduction. Would you tell us something about it, how the rail industry is already involved, and how colleagues can participate as well?
Absolutely. So Samaritans have launched their latest Be a Samaritan's Christmas Star campaign to encourage people to be a star and donate or support the charity so our volunteers can continue to be there for those who need us in their darkest times, because we know that can be especially hard over the festive period too. The rail industry are kindly supporting the campaign, and we provided posters for station and ticket screens and staff internal comms to also remind them that Samaritans volunteers are always here to listen if they need someone too. We also have resources on our website for anyone who is struggling this Christmas. The Christmas digital posters are on screens all across the UK, including Leeds, Manchester Piccadilly and Edinburgh Waverley. We're also encouraging the rail industry to nominate their own Christmas stars and celebrate colleagues in the industry who have made a difference this year, from those who have fundraised or maybe even made an intervention and saved a life themselves. We have an editable e-card which can be sent to your Samaritan's Christmas star, and you can make it extra special by donating £5 to Samaritans, which could answer a helpline call this festive season. And obviously, these are just some of the great things going on across the rail industry this December. So do please get in touch with rail companies at samaritans.org for our Christmas campaign toolkit or for more information.
Bessie, if I can turn to you now, I know a little bit about your work as a Samaritan's Christmas Star, as you joined a call with RSSB a few months ago. But for those who weren't on that call, could you please tell us what you've been doing during the last 2 years and why you chose to do it?
Hello. So in July 2020, I was working as a railway guard for Greater Anglia, so up in Suffolk. And I'd heard a little bit about Samaritans and the Samaritan that they do in July. So basically the idea is walk, jog, run 26.2 miles throughout July, and in that time raising money and awareness for Samaritans. And I wanted to get involved. And I thought to myself, well, as a guard, I'm always on my feet. I'm going to walk 26.2 miles in as little as 3 days. I need to up the challenge. And so I said to myself, I'm going to walk at least 10 miles a day, with the idea of if I can give up a month of my time for Samaritans, then perhaps the Samaritans can help people get their time back just by listening to them. And I'd gone onto Twitter. I was quite active on Twitter. I am still quite active on Twitter, and created a hashtag, Bessie Goes, and I documented everywhere I walked throughout the whole month of July 2020. And in the end, I had people virtually walking along with me, which was very motivating. And then the support of the money that they were paying to help along with this walking challenge that I'd set myself for Samaritan was incredible. In the end, I walked 322.42 miles and we raised £1,064, which was just absolutely mind-blowing. I'm always speechless at the amount of gratitude and support that I've received over the last 2 years. During that time of walking, especially through the pandemic, it was a case of I didn't know that I was feeling stagnant until I started feeling better. And the walking really made a difference. And that was something that I thought I need to do more. This is fantastic. And since July 2020 and the Samaritans, I've been walking ever since. So this year, for Samaritan 2021, I wanted to still walk, but not set the same sort of challenge. I wanted to do something different. So I had the idea, especially with working on the railway and being around people on the railway, whether it's railway staff or people using the trains, I wanted to incorporate that. So I thought, if I get little pieces of railway ballast, tiny bits of rocks that you find on the track, if I get little bits of those safely, always safely, and write the name of each person that donates, I can carry that rock with me from the 1st of July until the 31st of July. And I had the idea of being able to pick up and carry people with me the same way that Samaritans can pick up and carry you when you need them. And it lifted off. It was insane. It was incredible. My idea was hopefully to beat the sort of like the money that I raised last Samaritan. So 2020, raising £1,064. I wanted to beat that. And we did that in the first week. It was so well received. And on the side of that, I had painted 31 rail scenes on large pieces of ballast. And I like painting. It was like a little bit of a hobby on the side. And I thought, I'll auction those off. So every day I did one auction a day. And again, just speechless, the support, and everyone got involved. It was absolutely incredible. And in the end of Samaritan 2021, I'd walked 106 miles with this £7 bag of ballast because I had so many people donate. We travelled 1,400 miles at least by rail, and we raised over £5,800. And I can't describe how that makes me feel. I'm so proud of how everyone got together to support something that hits every single one of us. And I'm blown away. Absolutely had a brilliant time. I just had such good fun, and I think that's what's important as well, is having fun with fundraising.
Thank you, Bessie. That's a wonderful story. I hope that your actions can inspire a few more to exercise their own talents in some small way to support Samaritans. But let's talk a bit more about you. Why did you choose to support Samaritans? And if they would like to, how would you recommend that our colleagues in the rail industry get involved?
I've been working on the railways for coming up to 4 years. And in that time, I've seen colleagues and passengers alike that, coming from all different walks of life, all need one thing, and that's to be listened to. And Samaritans, they're fantastic for when you're in your time of need. Another thing that I really love about Samaritans is that they're there for you anytime. If you haven't spoken to someone in a couple of days, you can give Samaritans a call and just go, I just fancied a chat. Or if something amazing's happened and you can't tell anyone yet, but you just have to tell someone, Samaritans are there and they can listen to you. And it's such a rare thing to be listened to these days, because a lot of people wait for you to finish talking so that they can speak, which, yes, how a conversation goes, but not a lot of people stop and really, really listen. So to have Samaritans there for everyone and anyone at any time of day, I can't thank them enough. And doing little bits to thank them I would do it every single day. And I think to have different ideas and think outside of the box is a great step when doing things for charities like Samaritans, because it's easy to get stuck and saying to yourself, I must do it the exact way that they're saying to do it. So take Samaritan, for example. The idea, like I said earlier, is to walk, run, jog 26.2 miles, I think it is, a marathon. And yes, it is great. It's amazing to do that, but it had your own spin on it. I think I've seen someone push their mates around in a wheelbarrow for the whole marathon, which is just brilliant. I love the fun ideas. It's thinking outside of the box. Take what you can do and put your own spin on it. So this year, when I did my auctions, in a way, that was in itself was a marathon. One thing a day, constant. And even if you can't think of something or you can't find the time to fundraise, so to speak, even perhaps, and this is something that I want to do personally in the new year, is to volunteer as a Samaritans listener and be that person that will sit and really listen and be that person that could perhaps help someone more than they've ever known that they needed that help. And it really is, it's the little things that make the difference. No time to overthink it. It's just no worries, the little things, have fun, be yourself, and think of others just while you're doing it, because that's what it's there for.
Bessie, thank you for sharing your story with us and for those ideas on how we might all get involved. Amy, if I can turn back to you to bring us back to those many people who might need that extra bit of support at Christmas, can you tell us what Samaritans volunteers do at Christmas time and what support is available?
Yeah, absolutely. Firstly, it's so amazing to hear your inspirational story, Bessie. Thank you so much for sharing it. And I really hear the passion you feel for the work Samaritans does. And I love your creative fundraising. It's just brilliant to hear. Thank you very much. But after such a challenging year for us all, and as we head into those winter months, it's more important than ever that we look out for each other, especially as more people are beginning to use the railway again. We know that people struggle all year round, but for some people, Christmas is particularly tough. The festive season can compound feelings of isolation, loneliness, or grief. New figures from Samaritans reveal that caller concerns about family have risen for the 5th year in a row, making up 34% of emotional support contacts with the charity across the UK and the Republic of Ireland. Christmas is such a big time for family. Mental health and illness is the top overall concern at 46%, with isolation and loneliness ranking third at 28% and relationship problems following on at 24%. Samaritans listening volunteers are on hand to respond to more than 250,000 calls for help expected during the festive season. We're one of the few services that's available 24/7, 365 days a year. Our volunteers will be there throughout Christmas to lend a listening ear to anyone struggling or feeling alone. We don't judge and we won't tell you what to do, but we will be there for you, whatever you're facing.
Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Bessie, for sharing your stories with us and for telling us about what Samaritans does to help people both at Christmas and throughout the year. If you'd like to be a Samaritans Christmas star or would like some more information on Samaritans' latest Christmas campaign or to make a donation, please visit samaritans.org/Christmas. Or if you're interested in working with Samaritans Rail Team, please email railcompanies@samaritans.org. And remember, if you, your colleagues or your loved ones need support this Christmas or beyond, Samaritans volunteers are always there to listen. Call on 116123 or email Joe, that's J-O, @samaritans.org. Thank you for listening. We all hope you have an enjoyable Christmas, and until the next time, stay safe.